Yo, 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 welcome to another edition of the Geeky Bros Podcast. I'm your boy Tactics.
And this is Big Geek Umar. How y'all doing today? Or how are
Good.
you doing today, bro?
I'm good. I'm good. We're missing our boy Darcy.
Yeah.
He's got some stuff to do with his partner, so he couldn't be in attendance today. But me and Umar are going to try and hold down the fort in his absence. So,
As
yeah.
best we can. Just a piece of housekeeping. For those of you who are watching this after we go live, please check the description below for the timestamps for the trailers that we will be discussing today. So, might as well just jump right into it since I've already mentioned it. What do you think, T?
Yes, sir.
All
Let's do
right.
it.
So, this is going to be a trailer reaction episode. We are going to be a lot of trailers dropped in the last week, some even like as of this morning. So we are going to discuss them. So first one on the list is Blue Beetle. So Blue Beetle a trailer dropped earlier this week. It is going to be, well, it originally was supposed to be just part of the old DCEU continuity, but James Gunn originally said that was going to stay DCEU. However, now he's saying, I think as of like the beginning of this month, that this film will actually fit within, it will be part of the canon of the DCU. So basically the new DC universe that he's making that is a result of Flashpoint from the upcoming Flash movie. This movie is going to be part of his larger story, which makes sense because frankly, the way the trailer came across and also the way the character, like where the movie came out in terms of the character, it's an origin film on the character. And unless they have like cameos from any of the other like DCEU people, they could just as easily say, hey, this is part of the DCU. So that makes me feel a little bit better because I didn't like the fact that the first Hispanic superhero is like literally doomed to not have any other like further work happen. So I wanted to bring up to you, T, because I have my thoughts on Blue Beetle, but I'm like very, very anxious to hear what you think of this. I've been like purposely avoiding bringing it up just so like I can get like initial reactions on the podcast. So T, what do you think of the Blue Beetle trailer?
So, first of all, just to go back to your last statement, so now after having you saying that, I'm wondering is the fact that this is the first Hispanic DC superhero to come to the live screen, is that the reason why they decided to keep it? Because I mean, if you cancel that, then that's gonna there's gonna be a huge uproar because I'm sure there's a lot of like people within the Latin community that were anticipating this, especially if they're
Oh
Blue
yeah.
Beetle fans, right?
Oh
Because
yeah.
we were talking about this yesterday in regards to Black people or the Black community has had their, I guess, their moment in the spotlight, so to speak, with
Their token moment. Yeah.
with Black Panther, and then after that we had Shang-Chi,
Yeah.
right? And so now,
And also my people have Miss Marvel.
Yeah, exactly, white people have had their time for a very long time. So
Women have had Wonder Woman 1 and 2, though we
yes,
wish 2 didn't happen, and I'm sure they did too. Captain Marvel
100%.
also, I'm pretty sure they wish that didn't happen either.
Yeah.
Black Widow kicked ass.
Yes.
WandaVision.
Yes, but we haven't had a Hispanic character yet.
No, this would be the first. Yeah, and also, do you remember like a few months ago when James Gunn took over and then they just started canceling everything on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
DC roster?
yeah.
So people online, like I saw, especially on Twitter, people were losing their freaking minds. Like, if you cancel Blue Beetle, we're going to be pissed. And everyone was saying like, come on, we're just about to have our first Hispanic superhero.
Yeah.
Why don't cancel.
Yeah.
And so when basically they didn't say anything about Blue Beetle, everyone's like, yo, did we win? And apparently we did.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'm just curious as to how Blue Beetle is going to fit into this new direction with James Gunn at the helm. So yeah. But in regards to the trailer, you know me, I'm I'm very picky when it comes to my trailers. I feel like we've been very spoiler. I feel like we've been very spoiled in regards to a lot of trailers that have come out as of the last maybe 10 or so years.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I don't usually let trailers be the determining factor in terms of whether or not I'm going to see a movie anymore, because
Agreed.
I bring this up. I brought this up several times before, where Spider-Man No Way Home, the trailer didn't really do much for me, but I ended up loving the shit out of that movie. So I don't use that as a general basis for whether or not I'm going to see a movie. And I'll be honest, this trailer was like, there were parts of it that I liked, and I'm still very much excited to kind of see again where they're going in terms of this new direction and how Blue Beetle kind of fits into this new universe.
Mhm.
But it really kind of reminds me a lot in a lot of ways of, and I know you're not familiar with the property or this show in particular, but Big Bad Beetleborgs. I'm gonna try and hold on. I'm gonna try and pull up
Yeah, I don't know that one.
and granted, I loved the show as a kid. It just it was giving me Big Bad Beetleborg vibes when I first saw the trailer. I don't know if you ever remember this, but it was kind of like not a spin-off of the Power Rangers, but it was kind of like a derivative type
I
of,
have no idea what that is.
really. And it's like three kids, and they all they basically get their like they wander into like a haunted mansion, and there's like a guy that kind of looks like Jay Leno, and he's like he he basically grants them their powers. And the Blue Beetle guy, he can control things with his mind. The pink one is super strong, and then the green one is really really fast. And but they're
Wow.
kids, so when they morph into adult
Bodies?
bodies, and they become the big bad Beetleborgs, basically. And yeah, so when I was watching the trailer for Blue Beetle, my mind just kept going to this, or like superhero, a superhuman samurai cyber squad, like that kind of era.
Oh yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so not to say that it was bad, it was just kind of like a little bit jarring for me, because I was like, I don't know if I'm behind this 100% yet. I have to kind of see more of the trailer and more of like what the overall premise is going to be in order for
I
me to
can
like.
kind of see why you would say that, because like the 90s live action series is that they would have, like, I remember there was like another like bug transformer on a motorcycle hero. I can't remember what the show was called. But like it was kind of this thing where like someone like is given something and like they're able to transform into it. So like this would
Yeah.
be the comic book version of that.
Yeah. But what I will say is I like that overall there's representation. You know what I mean? Like this is going to
Yes.
be a great thing for the Latin community, which is awesome. Even better if the movie is actually good.
Yes.
My concern though is that there doesn't seem to be a lot of people rushing out to watch superhero movies the way that they used to, as far as from what I'm gathering. And I think maybe partially it's because of how poor a lot of the ones as of late have been performing. Like Black Adam, did okay as far as I know.
Right. Yeah. It didn't. It wasn't the profit as it was because like there was so much marketing, and Shazam has not exactly done well.
Or Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. So okay, the difference with these films were no one wanted to do a repeat, and also no one came out of any of those movies being like, "Oh my god!" Like I would say,
Yeah.
Ant-Man was the closest because like people were like, "Oh shit!" Like Jonathan Majors, and "Oh shit, this is going to be so interesting." But like with Ant-Man, like even amongst the three of us, we were saying, "Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that?" So like people, I think, were frustrated with Ant-Man, the fact that like it was like pulling its punches a lot,
Yeah.
and they made a lot of like last minute decisions that you're just like, I guess. Shazam never had a chance, and also it wasn't exactly promoted to have a chance. And
Because of The Rock.
because of The Rock, exactly. And also Black Adam was just I guess it was an ego project in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I knew that movie was going to suck, but I think that kind of set a bad tone that then the subsequent films just didn't really wash out.
Yeah. Well, DC definitely needs a win, so I'm hoping that this movie actually does well.
This is dope though. That's dope. I love the fact that they brought up the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy. I would definitely do that.
I do. Oh, is that what that was? I didn't even understand that reference. So yeah,
that was from Final Fantasy.
Got you. Okay.
Just out of curiosity, T, how aware are you of the Blue Beetle character?
I'm gonna be 100% honest, and I know the gist. I know that I'm familiar with like how he gets his powers, and that the scarab is like its own it's a sentient being that basically inhabits and controls his body at times. And yeah, I vaguely remember him in Young Justice, but not enough. I know he had a really big arc in Young Justice
season 2.
In season
2, yeah. Like it was basically he was like the focal point of the season 2.
Yeah, but I don't remember. It was so long ago. I don't remember his arc at all. So yeah,
I actually really enjoyed his arc in so basically for those of you who do not know who Blue Beetle is, so he is a comic book character from the DC universe. He so there were 2 other Blue Beetles before him, but none of them kind of dawned on the Blue Beetle, like the scarab that is on his back. The scarab is a sentient being from an alien species. The scarab is arguably or like reasonably on par with the Green Lanterns in terms of like a variety of powers. And they are basically the people who sent the scarab to Earth, also sends them to other planets. And they are in direct opposition to the Guardians of the Universe. So like the Green Lanterns and the scarabs are like mortal enemies. The difference is his scarab was almost like malfunctioning. So it didn't actually take full control of his body, and like basically it was supposed to be the secret weapon to help conquer each world. But that didn't happen. Instead, it just was kind of like talking in his ear, and you can hear it in the trailer, like just like saying all these suggestions, and he has relative control on what happens. So it's kind of like I'm sure this is as an origin film. It's going to be him kind of dealing with trying to learn how to manage the scarab without it taking over him.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, as long as the story is done right and they don't deviate too far from the original source material, I'm sure it's going to be a good time. I mean, one would hope anyway.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, do you know the main actor? The one who plays Jaime Reyes?
Yes, I do actually. So, you know that I am an avid fan of not only the Karate Kid, but the very amazing spin-off series Cobra Kai. Yeah. And he's one of the main stars in Cobra Kai. And yeah, Cobra Kai is such a phenomenal show, but it really is for the diehard fans of the original trilogy, the Karate Kid. So if you love the Karate Kid growing up, you're familiar with Mr. Miyagi, all that shit, then definitely watch Cobra Kai. He does a great job, and his fighting ability definitely improves as the series progresses. I think they're in like their 4th or 5th season of the show now, and so it was pretty ideal cast. It was pretty ideal casting to have him come into this, because like physically, I think he has the capabilities to pull off a superhero role, and his acting was pretty top notch for the show anyway. So yeah, I'm glad that they got him on board for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I this is the first time I've seen him, so like I'll be finding out like what his acting chops are like in this.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see. So the graphics for the Blue Beetle looked decent. I'm kind of hoping that they like. I liked his transformation; that was done well. But the actual outfit, like while very accurate, I'm a little, really, little hoping that like by the time the movie starts, like there's like added CGI stuff that they can add to it to make it a little less. I don't know why. I just find it a little odd.
It kind of bothers me too. Like when he was flying and then he lands and he's like hovering over the ocean.
Yeah,
For some reason, that scene just like the whole ambiance of the trailer. It just seems like
it's been done.
not even that. Yes, like that for sure, but also that like it feels more like a Disney show rather than like a full feature.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that like again, this is just a teaser trailer. So like they'll probably have a more in-depth trailer, hopefully better the movie will be better. I'm I'm waiting for the reviews. I'm gonna watch it no matter what. I'm gonna support this movie just like for the representation alone.
Yeah.
Also, I do like the character, and I kind of want DC to realize that they can start branching out of the big three. Like, yes, I love Superman, I love Wonder Woman, I love Batman, but like we can start branching out and start going to the B, C, D level characters. Because actually, not even the D level characters. We barely touched the B characters. Let's get to the C level characters going.
In saying that though, and this is gonna sound very strange, but for me watching the Blue Beetle, it almost feels more, or sorry, it almost feels less realistic than Superman, Batman, and even Wonder Woman, which is very odd to say because, like, yeah, like all three of them actually are very, very unrealistic. But this one was like kind of like,
You do realize that like this is like essentially the same story for Green Lantern.
yeah, I know, but for some reason the Green Lantern one just feels more believable. I don't know why.
You're
And
more used to it.
yeah, I think it's just more I've been conditioned more for the OG Justice League
Yeah,
versus
because
like the
like
newcomers.
yeah, because like this is literally well, aside from the fact that it's like a malfunctioning scarab, this
Yeah.
is no different than the Green Lantern's origins.
You know what I hope for this well, not so much the trailer, but the movie
Mm,
is I want it to have the Guardians of the Galaxy effect where you go in with low expectations because you're
yes,
unfamiliar with the character or
yes,
characters in the case of Guardians of the Galaxy, and then you're pleasantly surprised by the outcome of the entire movie to the point where
yes.
you're like, now you want it, like now you'll go and rush out to go see a Guardians of the Galaxy movie because you've already been introduced into that world and the characters, and you're like, okay, I'm sold, I'm in. Like that's what I'm hoping for with this movie.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that Susan Sarandon's in this. She's apparently playing like the villain, which you can kind of tell based off of like how she was acting. But I, I'm hoping, and I'm really, really, really hoping that she's not going to be the main villain, more like an antagonist. Because I do, or if she's the villain, just for like, because they probably want to keep it grounded before they start going up to like the higher stakes. Because I really don't want them to like ignore the Reach, because the Reach is the ones who send out the scarabs, and once this has been like connected to Jaime Reyes, they're kind of like, okay, well, this planet's ready to be colonized. And I
Mhm.
do kind of want that to be like in play, but I guess that's a much larger storyline because they probably want to wait until, well, the Justice League is like set up so they can actually have the Justice League working with Jaime to like take care of it.
Mm. They definitely need to introduce something like that. I think at this point, and especially considering that it's DC and DC hasn't been doing well in terms of their live action properties,
Yeah,
they need to just throw everything they got, go balls to the walls, have a good setup with a good payoff, but not in a way where it's like you're there's too much setup where you're just that's kind of what Ant-Man 3 felt like. It was like they were setting up to
yeah,
something
it
for
was
a
all
later.
set up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it was just like there's no payoff at the end. Like if you're going to introduce the Reach or you want to set something up for a bigger scale thing, you at least have to give us something big on a similar level that gets us excited and entices us to want more, rather than just be like, here's a little taste, here's a tease. No, fuck you with that. Like, you can do that with Batman, you can do that with Superman, because you've established those characters. But for like small fry like this, nah, you got to go all like balls to the walls.
I really want them to focus as much on like the big aspects, like on all like the graphics and the fights. They need to sell the characters. Like and like I want them, as all this is this to say, because like you and I and also Darcy has said that like Ms. Marvel, one of the problems with the Ms. Marvel TV series wasn't the actors, wasn't the storyline, it was the villains and also the graphics. The graphics here are better than what Ms. Marvel has, so I'll give them that. However, I want them to, like, if they keep the villains normal everyday villains, at least there's like a normal amount, because like Ms. Marvel, like you could feel that they just shoved in the villains. If they have the villains in this, fine, but I need the characters to be like developed. I want them to be people that people can relate to, because that's what sold Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I agree. But again, they can't have lackluster villains. Like they like. But I think part of what makes a movie great is a great antagonist, and I think that's one of the main things that we've often complained about in terms of the Marvel universe, with the exception of like a Killmonger or a Thanos. Like what's our number one complaint? Yeah, like that the villains are lackluster.
I will say that having a low-level stereotypical villain for the first movie, but like having good graphics and also really good like characters just for the first movie is fine, as long as for the next one, that's when they put in the effort for the villain.
So if done right, I agree with you. I think that could be really well. Like I think that can be a really good idea. I think so. When you were talking, I was thinking of it like Batman Begins, like the first Christopher Nolan film, right? Where they had Ra's al Ghul, and then they had Scarecrow, right? Yeah. Where like obviously Ra's al Ghul is not like a low level villain per se, but it's like he's not one of the more eccentric villains in the Batman roster, right? So in the second one, obviously you had the Joker, and then the Two-Face, and then Bane and Talia in the third one. But like I would say do it similar to that, where you have even if it's a low tier villain, have them have like a good intent, like a good motive for why they do what they do, so that it's kind of like Killmonger in the sense of like, oh, okay, I get it. I don't agree with what you're doing. It's not the route I would take because I'm on the side of good, but I understand where you're coming from, bruh. And like keeps me invested. Otherwise, like if we're only just interested in the hero, that's all fine and dandy, but we also want something to oppose the villain or to oppose the hero.
Agreed. And I would say like for an origin films, you can be loose with the villain. But once you start getting past the origins, like we were spoiled to shit when it came to Black Panther. Like for an origin film, we got like the origins of Wakanda and a compelling villain at the same time. Like that was just like beautiful.
Yeah.
With this, I'm okay with taking like a lower end, like more a generic villain, and then like kind of like for the next movie, bring in Black Beetle. Like if Black Beetle comes in the second one and like he's a force to be reckoned with, that's like I'm down for that. But like for right now, I just want them to get this the story and the character right, the characters right.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
All right. Moving on to our next trailer, which is from now. We have heard that due to his recent diagnosis of having, I think it's Alzheimer's, yeah. Well, not that he's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, but he has the very strong likelihood of Alzheimer's occurring. Chris Hemsworth has taken a step back from acting, as we all know, but thankfully he was able to give us a sequel to his first Netflix action film that we all, like all three of us, loved, Extraction 2. So Extraction 2 trailer dropped, and it was a teaser trailer. Like, we don't know much what's going on. All we know is that he survived at the from the end of his last movie, and just barely. So they're not doing like a John Wick, like he just like got up and walked it off. Like it's kind of like, okay, so we all thought you were dead, and you've been in a coma for a couple of years, or in a couple of months, but it's time for you to come back. I'm probably going to keep making a lot of John Wick references, because this trailer, especially after the three of us watched John Wick 4 just recently, this trailer, I'm already on a bit of an action hero high. This trailer kept that high going. I was just like, I remember like sitting up while watching the trailer. Like I'm like, okay, let's see how this goes. So yeah, this trailer was just like 90% action and like 10% of the story, which, to be fair, I'm pretty sure that's going to be how the movie is, which is fine by me, because Chris Hemsworth proves that he may not be like a kung fu master or like a quick moving martial artist, but he a guy you do not want to fuck with. Because yeah. So I'm excited for this trailer, but before I go into more details of why I'm excited for this trailer, T, what do you think of the Extraction 2 trailer?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I didn't like this trailer.
Really?
I loved it. I love this trailer, bro. Like this
guy every time.
And I'll tell you why. And in fact, out of all of the trailers that we got this week, this is probably my favorite.
I figured
by far.
And I figured
it was simple. You don't, when it comes to Extraction, you're not expecting it to be much like John Wick. You're not expecting a really in-depth storyline. You just want to see some really good action. You want there to be somewhat of a story. Like there has to be some sort of a narrative that like where the action takes place in between the narrative and makes sense to a certain degree. That's fine. That's what we got in John Wick. Great. We were entertained all the way through. I feel like this is going to be very similar. And I've been waiting for this movie since the first one came out. I was like that. Obviously, they had the reveal at the end where like he's like, is he alive? Yeah. Is he dead? And then we got confirmation that they were making a second one. So I was super excited. I saw this with my partner and she loved it. So we've been both waiting for Extraction 2. And again, it's a simple trailer. And I'm a stickler for trailers. So like trailers nowadays don't really do much for me, and it's less like, okay, like now I just have to guess whether or not I'm going to enjoy the movie because the trailer like doesn't really decipher anything for me in terms of that, right? This I'm like, I hope I'm not fooled into this being a good movie because the trailer looks dope. And
if this is like the best part of the movie, I'll be pissed.
Yeah, I highly doubt it.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, I don't even know what the storyline is. It seems as though he's trying to protect this woman for some reason. That's all I need.
Jail.
Yeah, that's all I need. That is really all I need. I was pleasantly surprised by the first Extraction. I didn't think Chris Hemsworth had it in him, and not to say that like
I didn't.
Because I've only ever saw him as Thor.
Yeah,
and I don't. Like outside of that, I don't think he's been in it. Like he did like one other movie where it's like Red Dawn or something where like I don't even remember what the storyline was per se, but it was like their town was getting attacked by the Vietnamese or something like that, and they basically had to like terrain their town and try to survive. Like it was like a big group of them, and Hemsworth was one of the leaders in that or whatever. And there was a little bit of action, but it wasn't like fisticuffs type of thing. It was mostly like shootouts and shit of that nature. But yeah, the only other action thing that I saw him in was Thor. And like, you know how I feel. I'm like, now I really don't like Thor after Thor 4, but we're not going to get into that. But yeah, honestly, I didn't think he had it in him to No, fuck Thor 4, man. I'm still hurt by that. I'm still, the scars have not healed from that movie. Yeah. So yeah, I honestly didn't think he could pull off a film quite like this. I know he's got the physical prowess to do a movie like this, but
Okay, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm like, he doesn't look like he can't pull it off.
no, yeah, Grant, no, but like he was doing stuff like for his size, he was doing stuff that I was super impressed. Like it's like almost like imagining like because like he was on like the same. I feel like he was like on the same level as John Wick, like in like maybe.
Oh,
John
you
Wick
mean the trailer? Yeah, okay. Like, dude, when he was like punching the guy with like fire on his arm, I was like, damn.
That's what I'm saying though. Like it's like
And the
Arnold.
shield?
Yeah, like it's like for like Arnold in his prime, I can't imagine him doing something quite like this. Like Arnold did, like he relied on a lot of brute strength.
Yes.
But it wasn't like
he was slower.
Yeah, he was slower. He wasn't doing a lot of martial arts, flipping around and doing all that. Like Chris Hemsworth was doing a lot of like not crazy acrobatics, but a lot of acrobat-esque type of movements that was super.
He was
impressive.
moving around, yeah.
He was moving around, bro. Like he had agility and mobility, which I was super impressed because I'm like, for a big dude, that is not
he's a big guy,
yeah, that's not an easy feat to pull off and make it look real. Like when you're smaller, you're slender, like Keanu Reeves, for example. He's not a bulky guy.
No,
he's tall, but he doesn't have a immense amount of mass. So like for him to pull off stuff like that, obviously he doesn't have all that weight to slow him down, so he can be more agile. Chris Hemsworth, especially coming off of movies like Thor, where he has to put on all that bulk, it's kind of like, yeah, maybe you can pull off the physical feat, but does it look convincing? You know what I mean? So for me, I was kind of like, I don't know, he might be too big for these kind of roles to like pull something like this off, but now he sold me on it. So yeah, ever since Extraction, the first one, like I loved
when he picked up the shield and started like beating people with that.
Oh yeah, incredible, man. So
and also like I gotta say, like the angle, like what I love about action movies nowadays is like people who have been in action movies are kind of like getting behind the screen, behind the camera, and they're making it new. Like they're renewing the visual of action movies.
Yeah.
And this one was not like it. Like this one didn't like it didn't feel like it was stealing from anything. It was paying homage. It was using certain angles done before, but it was doing it well, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Yeah, I love it. There's not really much I can say in terms of the trailer because it just gave us a lot of like that one action shot. And then a couple of like split shots here and there. But yeah, I'm in. I'm convinced. I'm sold. Hopefully it's good. The only sad part about this is that if Chris Hemsworth is taking a step back from acting, and rightfully so, given the reason and his predisposition to potentially getting Alzheimer's, then we may not get a third movie, which is a little unfortunate. But I mean, I applaud him for prioritizing his health above everything else. So,
and also prioritizing time with his family. Like this guy, he's 39.
Yeah.
So like, and he has a very, very solid body of work. Like,
oh yeah, yeah.
Like he earned his career.
Yeah.
100%. I will say that like the one thing about this movie that makes me feel better is that it's written by the people who the brothers who made Endgame.
Yeah.
And
I've liked their movies, man. What was that other one with
the Gray Man?
The Gray Man. I enjoyed that.
Like I had fun with it. I did have some problems in terms of like the narrative stuff, but like again, like they're not big problems. I enjoyed the film, and like honestly, this movie is going to be one of the reasons why I'm happy I kept Netflix, even though I've like because of the whole like account sharing stupidity that they've done. I've like done like the lowest amount, so I'm not like paying in excess. But like this stuff is going to keep me going.
Yeah. if I wasn't a fan of the Russo brothers before, I'm definitely a fan now because they like
Yeah.
the stuff that they have been creating. Yeah, it's phenomenal. Like the Gray Man was a pleasant surprise when you guys. I think you guys watched it before I did.
Yeah.
You told me, yeah, check it out. It's a fun time, and you weren't wrong. I had a blast with it, like more so than I thought I would. And that Ryan Gosling is another one that surprised me because I know he can act,
But can he
and
fight though?
yeah, that's the thing. And like so the closest thing that I've seen, because I didn't see what was the one that he did with Harrison Ford. It was like a sequel to the not the Running Man, the with Harrison Ford. It's like a Ryan Gosling, man, and Dave Bautista was in it. Come on, bro, you know this.
I'm slipping on this one.
It's like on the tip of my tongue. What is that movie called? Someone in the chat, help me out here.
Blade Runner?
The Blade Runner, that's the one. Yeah. So I never saw that. So the only other action movie that I saw from Ryan Gosling was Drive. And he didn't do a lot of fighting in that, but he was great in it. So it was like to see him do an action role was a pleasant surprise because I'm like, oh man, this dude is all around talented. So and Chris Hemsworth is another one, right? Because he's done some dramatic roles too, and obviously he's now dominating the action scene, or he has been dominating the action scene. So yeah.
So so Extraction 2 comes out in June on Netflix, and it's going to be directed by the guy who made the first movie, but it's going to be written by the Russo brothers.
Oh, written. Okay, got it. Well, yeah, I mean, that's still great.
Still, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to our next trailer. So this is something that I have been waiting for a while, and I think this is my favorite trailer of the week. And this is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So, oh yeah. Okay, so I will say that for me, as you can probably tell from my voice, I found the first movie to be a, if not perfect, then damn near close perfect comic book film. And now with the second movie coming out, it just looks fantastic. It's going to be I think it's going to be the second of 3 films, so it's going to be the second for this, and I am all in for it. It has a huge cast, like freaking huge cast, which makes sense because they have a freaking huge roster of Spider-Man from like all across the like quote unquote Spider-Verse. But yeah, so like this, I am 100% in for. I love the trailer. I love seeing like the insights of where the story might go. I loved Sony's dig at Marvel. It was a small dig, which people online are taking severely more seriously than I think they needed to. But like the fact that Sony is using this movie to say that Earth 616 is not the MCU, it's actually Earth 19999. That was a hilarious dig that I'm just like, Kevin Feige gonna be pissed. But yeah, like to be honest, T, do you know what Earth 616 is? Like the whole debate about it?
No.
Okay. So before the MCU, before any of the movies came out, Earth 616 was described as the Earth is the comic book series. So it's like because Marvel has a multiverse with all these different versions and all these different like alternate realities, they decided that Earth 616 was going to be the main storyline. So that's the one whenever you watch like Spider-Man the animated series, that's like adapting Earth 616. The X-Men animated series adapting 616. So that is basically the main continuity. So when the MCU started and like in the movies came out, it was described as the universe Earth 19999. And then Kevin Feige, like 4 years ago or like 2 years ago, was like, no. The MCU is Earth 616. And like people just went crazy. And then Iman Vellani, like from Ms. Marvel, she's like, "Yeah, Kevin's wrong."
Yeah.
And like, you know, her and Kevin had this like joking, very affectionate sort of like war on interviews where Kevin Feige's like, "Yeah, I don't know what she's talking about. It's 616," and she's like, "Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. It's 11999, 19999." And but ultimately, when Doctor Strange came out, Christine was like, "Yes, we've designated your world as 616," and that kind of was like, "Well, apparently they've done that." But this has got Sony's just like, "Yeah, no, you guys aren't 616." So I found that to be hilarious, but apparently people have gotten very angry about this online.
Bro, it could be 213. I don't give a fuck. Just make it a good movie. Like, just
like,
make it a good movie. I don't care.
What did you think of the trailer?
I love the trailer.
Seriously?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
Yes.
And which is surprising, but like, yeah, I mean,
given your reaction,
like, I don't need to be sold on this movie because I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. So for me, it's gonna be cool to see Spider-Man. What is Spider-Man 2099, right?
Yeah. What's his name? Oscar Isaac is playing Miguel from 2099.
Yeah, so I like it. It gives me a lot of nostalgia because I used to collect the Marvel playing cards back in the day, and I wasn't again, you know me, you know this. I wasn't deep into the comics, but like I collected a lot of the cards.
Yeah, those cards were dope.
And I was like, oh shit, there's like a different Spider-Man that's not Peter Parker. That's cool. And then Scarlet Spider-Man as well. Like, you know, so
yep.
Yeah, just to see all those other iterations of Spider-Man is going to be really cool. And I'm wondering if we are going to see Tom Holland show up in this.
To be honest, everyone is assuming he will.
I think so too. And yo, we got our man, music by Dorsey.
Hey, you are missed, my bro.
Yeah, but I agree. I don't need a trailer for me to watch this movie. I've been sold since the first movie. I'm going in expecting this to be a hell of a good time. So
yeah, 100%. Like, basically, they are getting so many different versions of Spider-Man from all across the universe. Like, so they got Spider Punk, which is going to be voiced by the guy from Get Out. Then Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah.
And then they obviously have like Gwen in there. You got Jake Johnson coming back for like stereotypical Peter B. Parker. You also got Spider-Man India. We got to see the Spot, which has always been kind of like a character I always thought needed to be a little bit more front and center, as like he is definitely like a problem. But also like, yeah, Scarlet Spider, I think he's in it. I also think that Spectacular Spider-Man, the animated series, the Spider-Man will be showing up for that too. And
oh yeah, I think I saw that. I was like, they're getting every Spider-Man, yo.
Yeah. They also have like Mayday Parker in there.
Isn't that him in the middle? That's the Spider-Man from Spider-Man Unlimited, right?
No,
it's not.
No, the one in the middle looks like I think he's the Spider-Man who had the nanotech. The Spider-Man on the right.
Yeah, that's Spider-Man. That's Spider-Man. No, what was it?
Not Spectacular. Spectacular Spider-Man is the animated series.
No. But I'm talking about the guy, the Spider-Man with the nanotech. That's Spider-Man.
Yeah. Sorry. I thought you were about like Spectacular Spider-Man.
No, this one on the right is from the video game, right?
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
he's definitely from the video game. The guy on the left, I wouldn't be surprised if he's from like the '80s cartoon.
Yeah, I can see that. It kind of looks like that. Was it '80s or '60s?
Oh, actually, it could be the '60s, to be honest.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, like no, I am like. I am all in for this movie. Like, not even just for like the fact that we're seeing all like the Spider-Verse stuff, which is definitely cool, but also it looks like I love the fact that like Miles is having issues with his home life, and he is going to that's going to affect some things. And also, it looks like from the trailer, it looks like his dad. He's going to be like fighting the Spider-Verse to save his dad. We could be wrong. Ooh,
that's what
our
it
boy
seemed
Darcy,
like.
our boy Darcy saying on the right has the same logo as Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man overlaid on Tom Holland's fabric. You know what? He's not wrong. Darcy's pretty solid on that one.
Yeah, it just the logo on the back looks a lot like the one from the video game, but then the some of the outline of like the red parts does look like Tom Holland's.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know. I think Tom Holland is in it, but I don't think this one is Tom Holland because I feel like they would play that close to the chest and that be a big reveal.
Yeah, like we're gonna like he's probably like a post-credit scene or something like that.
I think he's gonna show up somewhere in the movie.
He could. He absolutely could. I'm just saying that like it would be cool if because I can see him being a big part of the movie or just a momentary jump in.
Mm-hmm.
And like for him to be like, yo, I don't like that Miguel guy. He's got it in for me ever since I did that thing with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I cannot wait for this.
Yeah. But I think you're right about him trying to say. Well, I mean, it seems like he is trying to save his dad because I remember from the teaser trailer, it seemed like he had suffered a loss, and his mom was talking to him, trying to like console him in some regard, and his dad was never seen in the trailer. And then in this one, you see his dad kind of falling from like a high building or something. So I think he's suffered a loss, and Miguel is now trying to solidify that and not have Miles change that, because every Spider-Man needs a tragedy.
Yeah, but he already has one. He lost his uncle.
Yeah, but like
because he actually did love his uncle, because his uncle made him feel understood. But then that shifted over to his dad, whose dad kind of like started soften towards Spider-Man.
But so for him, is that his loss? Is that loss equivalent to the Uncle Ben loss with Peter Parker?
I think they played it off like that in the first movie. His dad would be a much more solid one.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Just an FYI, I loved Brian Taylor Henry. No,
Tyree
Henry.
Yeah,
I love that actor. I also love his lines like, "Are you trying to kill your mother?" when you got to be in Spanish.
Yeah.
Also, like when he was like, "Whatever," and like the mom just like freaks out, and like the dad was like, "Nope, don't stay out of that one."
Yeah.
Oh man, I cannot wait for this.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Good to see you, Darce. Have a good night, man. Thanks for dropping in.
All right.
I am like literally just when they said that they're doing a second one, I was like, I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the trailer, I'm like, I'm most definitely in. Reading up on like all the spider like stuff that's happening, I'm just like, okay, can I just buy the ticket already?
Yeah, I'm sold, man. I agree with Darcy. I don't need convincing to watch this movie. I'm sure it's going to be excellent.
I cannot wait.
Yeah. When did you say it come out?
Actually, let me just check. It comes out June. We're getting a lot of movies this year.
Ooh, June's going to be a good one.
June's going to be a good year. Oh, good month. Sorry. So yeah, we are. Frankly, I think we're just keep gushing over the same thing. So like we are all in for Across the Spider-Verse. So
100%.
Moving on. The next two trailers actually came out today over the Star Wars Celebration stuff. So like they're doing the whole weekend on this. But the first one is directly tied to Star Wars, which is going to be the trailer for Ahsoka, the TV series. So for those of you who don't know, Ahsoka was a incredibly popular character that debuted in the Star Wars Clone Wars, which takes place during the Clone Wars between episodes 2 and 3. She was the Padawan of Anakin Skywalker, who would one day become Darth Vader. So she became a huge fan favorite. She became like a big part in like the Star Wars Rebel animated series. So I haven't watched Rebels, so I've seen like clips here and there on YouTube, but like that's about it. She did show up, and it was Rosario Dawson who was playing her in The Mandalorian. I think it was like season 2. Ooh, yeah, season 2. And she like we all loved her in that episode. She showed up again in the Book of Boba
I
Fett.
just love her. Sorry, go on.
No, please continue.
I love her, man. I love her and everything.
I didn't know you had that big of a crush on Rosario Dawson.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it. I don't even know what it is. It's just, yeah. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. Her and Zoe Saldana. Like I don't know what it is, but it's just something about those two. Like, yeah, those are beautiful women, man. Holy.
I just gotta say, T, like it is rather psychologically interesting that when you start talking about Rosario Dawson, you just got like right close up to the microphone and started speaking in the husky voice.
I mean, she could be watching, so she needs to know that she is loved. She needs to hear my voice and hear the passion in my articulation, right?
Because I don't think it was passion. I think it was love, man,
or lust, whichever one she's willing to take,
or infatuation as well.
Yeah, all of those, man, bunched up into one. I love her.
So I take it that this will be a Star Wars show you will be watching from the get-go.
100%.
Seriously?
100%. Now, okay, her just my infatuation aside, it actually is a good trailer. Like as far as Star Wars, I am not a Star Wars geek by any stretch of the imagination. But this one, it gave me what I wanted. Rosario Dawson and lightsabers.
It definitely gave you what you wanted.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't need anything else, really. Like, I'm sold. I'm sold. Lightsabers and this beautiful woman right here. That's really all I need.
So so you don't know anything about this character aside from what you saw.
So I've seen the animated version of it, and what I will say is whoever did the costume design and the makeup did a phenomenal job, because it is like carbon copy straight from the animated show to live action. Incredible, absolutely incredible, and they couldn't have cast a better person for it. So yeah, I am thoroughly impressed. I know nothing of this character. I don't know what this show is going to be about. The white lightsaber thing is kind of interesting, but it kind of goes against what Freddie Prinze Jr. was saying all in one of his many Star Wars rants.
What was he saying about the white lightsaber?
Remember how he was saying that like there's no such thing as a I don't know what the whole backstory of this white lightsaber is, but he was saying how there is no everything is black and white. There is no special. Didn't he say there's something about like in terms of the lightsabers, there's either, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Forget I said anything. I was like,
but now I kind of want to like you got to find this clip and send it to me, because like I want to know what
to be honest, maybe I fucked it up, and maybe maybe I didn't hear him properly. I was just so
Fair.
like, yeah. I thought
so. Just so you know, like the white lightsaber are special only because they used to be red that have been. I think what it is like when a normal lightsaber is forced to turn red for a Sith.
Yeah.
If you cleanse it of what made it, it's like making the crystal bleed in order to like make it red, and that's why the Sith use it so. But if you take those red kyber crystals and like basically purify it again to like kind of like free it of the bleeding, it turns white each time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I think he was saying something along the lines of there is no gray Jedi, but I think he meant that in more of
he's talking about the Jedi themselves, not the lightsaber.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I misunderstood.
You're so cute. Trying to like get all the Star Wars lore.
It's so deep, bro. I don't know. There's the whole lore is just crazy, but there are certain things like when people talk about it with such high praise and passion, but they can relate it to spirituality, which is more along my speed of what I'm into. It kind of fascinates me. Like you sent me one of the TikTok videos. You sent me it, so I'm giving you credit. Relax. Of someone with they were talking about the dark saber and how
Right.
when you wield it, it's the reason why it's so heavy is because your mind is clouded or something like that, and
The energy that you put into it.
yeah,
It's like whether it's a focus energy, then it's like not heavy. But if you're
yeah,
like conflicted or don't like confused or like don't know your place in the world, it's kind of like it gets heavier.
yeah. So that's cool. So it's like literally like your thoughts and your emotions are literally weighing heavy on you, which is like
Yeah.
which is cool. So I like when they can kind of take Star Wars in that aspect and relay it back to spirituality, because I remember, what was it, in Rogue One with Donnie Yen's character.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was dropping some pretty interesting gems. He had some pretty interesting quotes, and I liked his whole mantra of like the force
I'm
is
one with the force. The force is
the
one with me.
yeah. I love that part. So yeah, Star Wars. It's just because it's in space, man. And
Oh my god.
I don't know what is it about space, man.
I feel like you were looking through like I don't know, like looking into the stars one time and someone just punched you in the face.
Yeah, or maybe I was abducted by an alien and then they violated me and wiped away my memory, and ever since then it's just yeah,
Or maybe you were looking up in the stars and a girl broke your heart or something.
that too. That's actually more plausible. I'm sure that happened before plenty of times. I've had my heart broken mostly at night, so yeah,
You're
that's
like, fuck the stars.
yeah,
Give me the daytime on
yeah.
Earth. Okay, so for those of you who haven't seen the trailer, the Ahsoka series seems to be following Ahsoka as she is bringing, like, there are a lot of characters from the Rebels TV series in it. Now, I'm reading that. I don't know that myself. The one thing I am really hoping is like I have a friend who you all know, Maybot, who is like
But
yeah, she's like constantly giving us comments.
and Ron
She
R.
and Ron R, of course, but Ron R didn't tell me this. But I'll give her credit when credit is due.
And Courtney. Sorry,
And
I'm done.
Courtney.
But mainly because those are the only 3 people that watch our show.
Or comment on our show. We have people. Yeah. So Maybot was telling me about how she's hoping that for the Ahsoka series that we will be able to have what's his name, Grand Admiral Thrawn make an appearance, like he being the main villain. Now, I had no idea who Admiral Thrawn was, and like they mentioned him at the end of like one of the episodes for The Mandalorian. I was like, who? So I went on like a YouTube binge and I basically saw as many, if not all the scenes of, so we're assuming that is Grand Admiral Thrawn. And Thrawn was voiced by Lars Mikkelsen, who is the brother of Mads Mikkelsen, who plays Hannibal in the TV series Hannibal. So Lars Mikkelsen is like, he voiced Thrawn excellently. And like every scene I watched on YouTube, I was like watching like this. I'm like, this guy is smart as fuck. And I was all in for this character. So if this is if they got Lars Mikkelsen to come back as Thrawn, and also if this is a Thrawn in as the main villain, I am all in for this. However, they also have word that Hayden Christensen is going to make appearances. Now, we don't know if he's going to be flashbacks to Darth Vader. We don't know if he's going to be a Force ghost of as Anakin Skywalker. But like, interesting.
Oh, sorry. What's the timeline of this show? Like, where does this take place?
This takes place after The Mandalorian, which is after the fall of the Empire. So this will definitely be if Hayden Christensen shows up, it will be as probably Anakin Skywalker as a Force ghost.
Oh, so okay, so this is after all, like, what is it, episode 6?
Yeah,
gotcha.
Before episode 7.
Yeah,
but like this is like after The Mandalorian, where we've seen so far.
So the Mandalorian is between 6 and 7 as well.
Yes. So the Mandalorian started 6 years after the fall of the Empire.
Got you.
And like right now we're like 10 years after the fall of the Empire.
This timeline is so confusing.
Well, they're not doing a great job with it in terms of like telling us like what's going on. They're just like, this is what's going on. It's like, okay, but why didn't Darth Vader stop them? It's like, Darth Vader is dead right now. It's like, what? When did this happen? So that's Mary Elizabeth Winstead as a character from the
Is
what
it?
you call it? Yeah.
Oh shit.
She plays the character Hera. I want to say Hera. She's from the Rebels TV series as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did
So
not recognize her, but now I see.
I think yeah. Once you see it, you see it.
Yeah.
I'm into this. I'm wanting to see this. I'm hoping it is good. Like I want Obi-Wan level lightsaber fights, and also like emotional pay dirt. But I want like a better storyline with more depth. Because now they don't have anything. Because like Obi-Wan was restricted into how far they could go with depth because they're like, we can't break the continuity. This doesn't have any continuity. So they can literally go like give character development moments. Like hell, they could kill literally everyone on the show, or they can like have everyone go down the dark path or something like that. I don't care. I just want depth and I want proper storytelling with also badass fighting.
I agree.
Because like with Obi-Wan, when it came to like Darth Vader and Obi-Wan and some stuff with Leia, we got some great stuff. But then everything else is like, I guess this is happening. I don't want that. I don't want any more I guess or like, like silly stuff. I want depth.
Yeah. Obi-Wan was good though.
It could have been a lot better. There were some problems with Obi-Wan.
By your standards, but I was going in as a non-Star Wars fan.
You just wanted to say, you were happy the moment Darth Vader brought down the ship with like by himself and then like tore it open and then started like sidestepping that girl.
That shit was fire, bro. Holy, that shit was fire. I had never seen no shit like that in a Star Wars movie before. So I was.
I'm not saying I don't want that. I'm just saying give me a good storyline on top of it. Like I want proper. Like I just don't want wizards with lightsaber swords. I want wizards with lightsaber swords having deep conversations and like intense like battle sequences and also like really thought provoking scenes. Just give me that.
Fair. I mean, I feel like you just want a little bit more than I do. I'm just, again, I'm a simpleton, man. Rosario Dawson, lightsaber fights, and I'm good.
I am happy that Ray Stevenson is in this.
Who's that?
He was the big guy who was wielding the red lightsaber. Who he was Punisher in the second Punisher movie.
That's where I saw that guy. Okay, yeah. I was like, this guy looks familiar.
He also was in the season of Dexter. I think it was that guy. Like he's in the season of Dexter, and I know him from the HBO Rome series as Titus Pullo. So like I've been a big fan of him for a long time. Seeing him in this apparently as a Sith after the fall of the Sith. Maybe he's like I don't know if he's like a dark acolyte or if he's a former Inquisitor that went on the run. Whatever the case is, just give me a good storyline and depth.
Damn, how long ago was that second Punisher movie? This man looks hella old now. I mean, he looks good, but he just he
has to be in his 60s.
Damn. How was that Punisher movie, by the way?
I didn't watch it.
Okay.
I kind of I was turned off by the Ray Stevenson. The Thomas Jane one. So I was like, I have very fond memories of Ray Stevenson's from HBO Rome. I don't want to see him as like a bad Punisher. I liked him in Dexter though.
I did like that first Punisher movie though. I mean, I didn't love it, and
it was fine. I was annoyed that it was fine. It could have been a lot more.
Yeah, I agree. But there were some badass moments in it.
It was cool, but then now we got John Berthel, so like I don't care about anyone else.
Yeah, no watered down Daredevil show.
Okay, let's not start throwing shade before a trailer comes out.
We'll see. But I wasn't impressed by what I saw in She-Hulk. So
that wasn't even the same one.
it's a different one.
Oh no, I'm just lying. I'm just trying to like.
Oh, you're
come
fucking
up
with me now, bro. See? You got me excited. Now I hate it even more. You got me excited. You got my hopes up for nothing.
All right. So nonetheless, we are surprisingly we are both in for Ahsoka. I definitely thought you've been like, it looks cool. Like you know, I like seeing a Rosario, but that like I did not. I underestimated your Rosario love.
Yeah. She's something about her. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know. It's
Is
weird,
it
man.
her enunciation?
What her name? Nah, it's just I don't know, man. I really don't know. Yeah, I can't. Her and Zoe, man.
An ineffable quality.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then moving on to our final trailer of the night. So I will say this was by far my least favorite trailer because I have next to no interest of having this character continue. I felt that the fourth movie was enough, but here we are. So the trailer for Indiana Jones 5, aka Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, dropped this morning. It's basically showing Indy basically literally retiring from being a professor, and then his goddaughter, who's played by Phoebe Waller Bridge. Hold on, let me just double check that. Yeah, Phoebe Waller Bridge is basically getting him out of his almost retirement to help on one last adventure, assuming this is his last adventure.
That's what they all say.
Sorry?
That's what they all say.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I will say the fact that Mads Mikkelsen is playing the villain in this one makes me a little bit interested. I think I saw Antonio Banderas in the trailer as well.
Yeah.
It was nice to see John Rhys Davies come back as well. And I think Toby Jones is playing Phoebe Waller-Bridge's father in this one.
Hail Hydra.
He is playing like a Nazi defector. Anyway, so I was like, I'm gonna watch it, but I don't have any like real interest for it. I really felt that it should have ended in the third movie. The fourth movie was like almost ruining the character for me, and this is like, oh god. So I am not a huge fan of this, but I'm going to watch it. But I like this trailer. It did exactly what you've been saying with that trailers have been doing for you. Generally, tactics. This like that happened to me with this trailer. So, what did you think?
What did I think? Yeah, this trailer didn't really do much for me. You put me onto the whole Indiana Jones because you were dumbfounded by the fact that I had never seen any of
that. Is hardly an unrealistic or uncommon reaction to have.
So not surprisingly at all, but in my younger years, like very, very young, I was only ever into I had a very niche interest. It was superheroes, dinosaurs, and anything to do with Eddie Murphy. That was it. Like, so if the movies didn't involve any of those, then I wasn't all that interested. So
interesting.
You can imagine how many movies I missed growing up, you know? So yeah, I just never
and also you don't like space.
And yeah, I don't really like space because of that one girl that just broke my heart.
I'm not gonna lie,
like Quest.
If I could be a therapist for why people don't like movies, I would love to have you on my chair.
Yeah, we could do a deep dive and figure it out because I don't know. I don't know what it is. I really don't know.
So okay, so you watched all 4 movies.
Yes. I'm pretty sure I've seen all of them at this point now. They were fun. I enjoyed them. I think because given the given that I was much older now, I'm much older now, and I'm seeing
You're a
them.
little dated.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, yeah. Like it's similar to like not nearly as bad, but I'm gonna give you an example. It's similar to like I recently watched, not recently, but like maybe 2 years ago, I watched Top Gun, the first one, for the first time. And I'm here sitting here like, yo, I don't understand the hype. I mean, this movie's okay, but like, really, like this was like they fucking made a Wonderland ride out of this movie. Like relax, it's not that deep, you know.
But like also it was like people didn't realize just how homoerotic it really was.
Like, yeah, so I mean, it was okay for me, but I was just like, I don't understand the hype, and it was just because of the time frame in which I watched the movie. And it was a similar thing with Indiana Jones. I'm sure back, like if I'd watched it, like when did the first one come out, in the 80s, the 70s?
Yeah, like 6, 7, no 80s.
Yeah, so if I had watched it at that time, I'm sure I probably would have loved it a lot more and would have had a bigger appreciation for it. But yeah, they were fun, but like I'm kind of with you. I'm like I didn't really. This just seems unnecessary. I feel like they closed that chapter. What with the one with Shia LaBeouf, was that the latest one?
Yeah, that was the 4th one.
Okay, so if that's the case, then because I know not a lot of people weren't really fucking with that one. So in my eyes, it's like it's similar to what was it? Rocky 5. With
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
where like he hated, like, so Sly hated that movie so much that he's like, we got to do another one to redeem Rocky 5 or to redeem the franchise overall. Otherwise, like, we can't end on a sour note like that. So if this is what that is, then yeah, I would welcome it as like a last hurrah for Harrison Ford and this character.
Okay, it's funny you should say that because the director of this movie is James Mangold.
I don't know who that is. Sorry.
The guy who directed Logan.
Oh, okay. Got you. Interesting. I heard he's a pretty good director. He's directed some solid stuff.
Yeah, like he did 310 to Yuma, he did Logan.
Yeah. John Campia really loves that guy.
What are your thoughts on him? Have you seen 310 to Yuma?
No, I haven't actually.
So the only thing you've seen of his is Logan and Wolverine.
Yes.
He did the Wolverine and he did Logan.
He did the Wolverine as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's a hit against him though.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that had potential, but yeah, definitely a miss in my eyes.
Oh, he also did Walk the Line and Girl Interrupted and Copland.
I haven't seen any of those movies.
He also did Ford and Ferrari.
I heard that was good. I haven't seen it yet, but it's on my list of things to watch. Interesting. Well, yeah, again, going back to my original point, like if this is kind of like their way of redeeming the franchise so it doesn't end, like it doesn't completely end on a bad note, I'm totally fine with that. If they make this a conclusive thing, not to say that Rocky 5 really made it a conclusive thing, but well, I mean, at least for his story. But now I'm hearing rumors that he's trying to do another one. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But
I think I heard that he's trying to come back for like Creed 4.
I heard that too. But yeah, like, I mean, I'm open to watching it. I'm not deterred from seeing this film.
Okay.
The trailer, again, I mean, you know how I am with trailers to begin with, so I was kind of.
I would say you and I are like about equal.
Yeah.
In terms of the reaction of this trailer.
Yeah. So it didn't really give me anything to really overly anticipate or to be excited for. So yeah, it kind of is just like, all right, that looks like maybe a good Netflix night.
Yeah. So when is it? I think this movie is coming out in August. June. Actually, yes.
What? I was joking. Wow.
June 30th.
Man, that's when I graduate.
June is going to be an expensive month for us.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
That's hilarious. You're like, June. Wait, what?
Wait, when does the Flash come out? Don't tell me June.
June.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Hold up.
definitely
Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. I need to find that. I need to find that out. I think it's June 26th. Yes, June 16th. Sorry.
No way. Wow.
I don't know how we are. Like, let's just say we're gonna have so many out of the theater reactions or like review us to do in June.
100%. Holy man,
June's
everyone's
gonna be-
coming for June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also you're graduating in June too.
Yep. So I'm gonna graduate and go right to see Indiana Jones.
Out of all the ones to come out in June, that's the one that'll be hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. Well, nonetheless, we are going to see what the movie is going to be like in June. But so far, the trailer is like a meh for me, and it sounds like a meh for you as well.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, I feel like if I'd seen any of the Indiana Jones trailers, actually, no, I can't. I don't know if I could say that because
I don't think you can either.
yeah, because I remember some pretty cool like action scenes in some of the older ones. That if they had put that in the trailer, I'd probably be like, oh, okay, that looks like a good movie. But this, I was kind of like the whole what's it called? When he's on the horse and he's in the subway.
Yeah, Subway.
That reminded me of like, okay, you guys got that from Spider-Man No Way Home. Like how original.
Yeah.
So yeah, not overly impressed, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so we will. Now that we've reviewed the trailers, we will next be letting you all know what we thought of the movies, because definitely, I think, and also for Ahsoka, like we'll be watching it. It'll be strange to have you actually like on top of watching a Star Wars property.
Yeah. Wait, sorry, when does that one come out again? August, you said?
I think that one comes out in August.
Okay, so I'll have a lot more free time then.
Yes.
In theory.
In theory. Don't forget you have anime.
Yes, I do. Apparently, I have 2 episodes to watch that have a big reveal in My Hero Academia.
Hopefully next week we will be when our boy Darcy returns, we'll be able to review, because now all of us have watched Honor Among Thieves, and also we have hopefully an ability to review the latest season of My Hero Academia, as our boy Tactics has finally passed the midway point and is like etching towards the ending. So hopefully next week we'll be able to talk about that.
We will see, my friend.
We will see. All right, do you want to begin our closing remarks?
Yes. Well, we want to thank everyone for tuning in, whether you're watching right now live or you're going to watch later. We thank you for all the support. Be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe. Tell all your friends. If you have any particular topics that you want us to cover, send them our way. You can send them in the comments or send us a DM on not Instagram, although we are planning on working on an Instagram page sometime in the future, so you guys can contact us there, not now but at a future time. But yeah, you can DM us on YouTube. Until then, we will see you guys next week. I am your boy Tactics.
And this is Big Geek Kumar. Live long and prosper, y'all.
Boom.